Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Ms Tique Psychic Medium Live TV. I hope you're all having a, fine and dandy New Year's Eve at this point in time. I know it's very different to the ones that you've already, had planned and all that sort of stuff, but, we're going to do the best that we can with what we've got. And there's no point, what is the saying? There's no point crying over spilt milk. We can't change the situation, so let's just enjoy it for what it is. Now I'm just going to wait till a few people jump on, and I'm just going to share the post to a few places. So if anyone would love to share this live feed, that would be fabulous. And I can add your name in again to my little basket of names I already have scheduled in for this evening. Oh, look at you all jumping in. It's really nice to... Oh, Eileen, long time no see. You can see that I changed. Not. In actual fact, I did forget to do one thing, but that's okay. It's New Year, and we can just do without certain things for a while. I do welcome you all in. I am going to, as I said, I am just doing a bit of housekeeping at this point and sharing the feed to a few different places. And if you can join in with me and do that, that would be absolutely awesome. And again, another one of your names will go into the basket. That'd be fabulous. I also I did post it on this feed a couple of hours ago. I did already jump in and thank a few people where I thanked Harvey Norman and Nick Chavez, hairdresser to the stars in Beverly Hills, God love him, Luke Eastwood for the stock that you sent over, Stacey Shefflin from YBF Beauty. These people have helped in many ways of sending stuff to me that I could basket up and take to the women's refuge, or a few women's refuge for domestic violence. And that was the reason I started, what was the reason why I wanted to put on a Christmas Eve special as well as tonight being New Year's Eve, because I, first of all, my voice is going to go already. First of all, I didn't want anyone to spend those particular days or evenings alone. So I felt it was a good thing to do to get people, just to lightheartedly jump in and, whether they're looking for really heartfelt messages or whether they were just, giving themselves something to do on significant days so they wouldn't be alone. So that was the first reason why I created this. The second reason was to help. Domestic violence is very... it's very one of my key places that I do my community work where, that sounds, not that it's community work by law, it's community work that I choose to do, and to help many domestic violence victims to be able to get some advice, get some empowerment back into them after something, something horrible has happened to them, and get them to understand that things like that is certainly not their fault. And having said that, giving their self-confidence back, giving them their self-esteem back, empowering them to understand that they can, not feel so intimidated or not feel, weird when they go to court, because I also have a law degree on top of, a few other things that I've got. So it's all very good. Danina keeps popping in. Yeah, long time no see for you too. Thank you for joining. So I'm just going to go back up to the top. If there's any trolls tonight, please keep a lookout for them. I'm sure they're going to be out on New Year's Eve because they've got nothing better to do, and I will try and get rid of them as quickly as I can. Good evening, Kim, Bianca, Michelle, Danina, Stella, Paul, Tony, Michael, Sharon, Jacqueline, Danita again, Eileen, God love you, Joanne, Lynn, Clarissa, Anne, Kim. Oh, Kim's joining me tonight. Hello. And Michael again. Michelle, Slav. Hello, Slav, my love. Chloe, Gemma, Melissa, Haley, Kate. Oh my God, you're all going crazy. Deborah, Joanne, Nikki. Nikki's on YouTube. Thank you so much. Rosie. Oh, hello, lovely. Andrew. Marianne. Donna. Samantha. Tammy. Lola. Deborah. Christian. Oh my God, there's so many. How wonderful that so many of you have joined so early in the night. Look, I really do appreciate that. It really it does warm my heart to know that, you know, there is some wonderful people in this world, and regardless of whether you're after a reading or not, there's a, you know, I have a pretty loving and unique following, and it warms my heart to be able to, like, I know there's two refuges that, you know, that the women are watching from. Of course, I can't name them. I can't name the people. I can't name the area, given privacy reasons, and you don't understand why. But they're joining us tonight as well, and they will get through their rough patch, that's for sure. You know, I've spoken to a few of them, well, most of them over the last couple of weeks, and they're coming ahead leaps and bounds, which I'm really proud to be associated with. So thank you to those victims who are allowing me into their space to help them on their journey. It's always wonderful to do such fabulous work. So, you know, my main thing, of course, is I love connecting with spirit. You know, that is one of my loves, and my other love, of course, is all the counselling and all that, and the psychotherapy and all the other stuff that I do as well. So two different sides of me, but yeah, both very empowering and enduring. You know, to a lot. Lynn, you wanted me to send you a link to that song I was talking about on the last show. I will. I can't do it right now. It is on YouTube. I'll pop that up when we're finished. And so that will help you immensely. And I really hope you listen to that and get the empowerment from it that, you know, that you so rightly deserve, and that you feel the empowerment in it, you know, coming along. For anyone who is asking for a general reading tonight, can you please make it more specific about what you're, you know, wanting answers from? It just does it, not that it makes my job easier, but it just makes it more enduring for you, because if you've got some questions that need answers, you know, please ask them. Don't be shy, because any question is not going to be turned away. You know, if it's a topic that is a little bit sensitive, you know, I might say to you that spirit is coming through with something that's rather sensitive, and hence, you know, it may not be for a public forum, and I would contact you and I would, you know, pass that message on regardless. So if we can do a bit of that, that'd be great. So let's just jump in and see what I've got. So what's my first one? Okay. And I'm going to come to you and sort of say to you, I don't think you're in any type of relationship right now, but, you know, do I see a serious one for you this year? The short answer is no, I don't. But having said that, there's a lot of components that, you know, are coming into play where, you know, it would be very hard for you to actually have a serious relationship anytime soon, given the fact that, you know, we've got another round of COVID, you know, in our faces. We have that to face automatically, but also too, like, you know, I want to say to you, as much as you want that in your life, are you 100% ready for it? You're not going to like the answer when I say no, you're not, because you really do want it in your life, and I can understand that it would make you a lot happier to have someone by your side to bounce things off, to, you know, talk about your day with, to go through problems with, all that sort of stuff. And, you know, there's many on the planet that, you know, that want that in their lives, and I can appreciate that. However, there is just some little niggly things that I feel are going on with you, that you're confidence seems to have taken a bashing in the last, I don't want to say actually 12 months. I feel that you've had some real disappointments go on, and whether that's to do with another man or not, it doesn't really matter. All I feel and all I sense from spirit is that you've had a few people that have let you down, and you've had some disappointments along the way. But for some unknown reason, you're taking on the ownership of that. Now, I don't believe that you did anything wrong to create what spirit shows me as these disappointments. Having said that, if you're feeling guilty about it, I would need to pose the question of why, because I don't feel that you have. But by you walking around just feeling within yourself, whether it's your subconscious or your gut that is feeling that you have, done something wrong to have created that, that's caused then this energy with you that's negative. It's a little bit, it's picky about yourself. It's you're going to criticize yourself for small things. That has to stop. There's nothing to be shameful of. There's nothing to be guilty of. What has happened is that whoever has wronged you, whoever has disappointed you along the way, it's kind of their issue, not yours. And sometimes it can be partly yours, but I don't feel that in this sense. Like I feel that you're taking it on board as if it's your fault, because there seems to be such a revolving door where that sort of thing is, all that sort of behavior has happened before. And that would be something to answer for another time. But, you're not really ready as such then for a serious relationship right at this moment, because you have to get rid of some of that stuff that keeps triggering where you kind of take on the blame a lot. So I hope you know what I mean by that. With all that being said, if you go through some healing work in the early part of 2021, which is tomorrow, if you take on some healing mechanisms and coming back to the grassroots of yourself, then I feel that virtually by about 8 months into the year, that you feel so much better about yourself that you actually will be ready to start something. But then it's a matter of you going out and trying to find that. And what I mean when I try to find it, it's not that I want you going out, canvassing all these places. Your energy field will be so much different that you'll invite different quality people into your life. And it's only then that you will find better people to have relationships with, male and female, that you will learn where your social arena, I want to call it, your social arena, then becomes wider, it becomes broader, and you feel far more comfortable in your own skin. It's only at that point that you'll meet someone else and then you'll move forward with that. So as I said, I don't see it till about 8 months of next year. However, what I feel is good. And if you want to take some time out to work through some healing with yourself, then it will be very much worth your while. And if I can help you in any way, shape or form with that, then I'm happy to do so. So I hope that helps, Anne. If you want to let me know, that'd be fabulous. Kim, hi Kim. I better add you to my little list of my things since you have shared. Thank you so much for that. I hope you are well, and I hope everything is going great with you with all the stuff that you and Michael do. I wish you well for 2021, and I'm sure we'll cross paths very, very soon. Okay, Michael, I do want a love reading. Okay, Michael, I only read for you last week, so I'm actually going to call this one a bit short in saying the more you're focusing on with respect, I need to say this with the greatest respect, the more you're focusing on the need to have it in your life, the more you're actually pushing that person away. And I think you'll know what I mean by that. And again, like I said, I mean it with the greatest respect. We all desire to have that, like that previous lady, we desire to have someone in our lives. However, when it becomes a need, the energy that you're projecting out does become like, it's not that you sound needy, so don't get me wrong in this. It's the energy that you're putting out that comes across a little bit needy and comes across as maybe a little bit picky, and people are going to bypass you. So you could be standing, like, if you're looking at my image on the screen, you could be standing and people could be headed in front of you to be coming your way, but they'll go like that till they come towards you, and they'll go like that. The reason why they do that is because they'll feel that your energy is cold. And I know you're a loving person, I know you're a giving person, but when your body is giving off an outer energy field of coldness, of that want of need as such, then it's not putting the right attraction out to others. So when you get the need out of the system and plod along each day and then have the desire and the want rather than the need, things will change for you, okay? I also do feel too that there's a lot going on with you with new stuff happening in the first part of the year. So I wouldn't kind of interact with that. I would wait till that gets a bit more, what is the word? A bit more flavour to it, a bit more showing of interest, success, those sorts of things. I would wait till that kind of builds a little bit, because while that's building, your focus needs to be there instead of a partner. Yeah. And then I find that when your focus is happy where all that's at, then, and it's only then, that things will change around with you for having someone come into your life. So I hope all that makes sense. And let me know how you feel about that. Okay. Looks like it's going to be a fun... Oh, Kim, have you just... have you seen a troll already? Is that what you're saying? Oh, for God's sake, really? Okay. I can't seem to see that at this point. Sorry, guys, just bear with me for 1 second. I'm just acting on what Kim is saying. Thank you, Kim. If you've reported them, that's fabulous. Thank you. I have just seen one myself, but thank you for jumping in and inboxing me, because, as you know, you do live yourself. You don't always scroll down the bottom. So, yeah, I don't get to kind of see them until it's a bit too late. Joanne, you've told me that you've blocked someone too. Thank you. Oh, okay. Now I've just seen where they've really gone to town on a few of you guys. You know, I say this when normally at the beginning of the show. I didn't say it this time around, but Ms Tique always, unless I'm having an invited guest in, which could be, you know, changing where on occasions I might start to bring that in next year. But in hindsight, Ms Tique works on her own, and if you ever get a message that says, the general thing is, inbox me for a more accurate reading, inbox me for a more thorough reading, inbox me because I have something important to tell you, blah, blah, blah. That kind of, if anyone is vulnerable, and please don't anyone take me the wrong way, if anyone is vulnerable, sorry, I'm just trying to get through, and that's what I mean. There's one of them that says inbox me for a reading. You know, if anyone is feeling vulnerable and they see that, and I actually haven't read for them, they fall into that, and this is what they're waiting for. You fall into the trap, unfortunately, of going, well, oh, I'll just press on that and I'll get a reading from that person, and that person will start. I've heard that they can hack into your computer and start doing some strange things, or I've heard that they just say a couple of things and start asking you for money. So it's a horrible, it's a horrible thing that they're doing when, I and many others are trying to do the right thing, and I'm apologising on, my own behalf, because they're here. But I had a feeling that they would be pretty much out in full for New Year. So if ever I have to stop and scroll down to them, I do apologise. But it's what I have to do to keep on going, yeah? So apologies. Okay. Where am I going? So what do I need to do again? Well, you need to start believing in yourself. This with all due respect, this merry-go-round that keeps going around with you. You go through periods where you're okay with yourself. Okay, thanks, Kim. I'll look at that when I finish. Thank you so much for letting me know. That's fabulous. Sorry, Slav. You go through these periods of being confident in yourself, and then something happens, and then you take all the bad out of that, and then go into a bit of a slump. Now, whether that's with your health or with someone saying something nasty or things just not going right, there's a whole little merry-go-round. As long as you can keep on the bandwagon of looking after yourself, but also appreciating yourself for who you are and acknowledging that, sometimes times are tough, but you have the strength to always get you through. But you also, too, have a few people that you can rely on to have proper conversations with to get you through that unstuck crap. Yeah. Because when you're, how can I say, when you're going through anxiety or going through an issue and your subconscious is making it bigger than Ben-Hur, if you don't release that or to someone that you trust, it really starts to just grow and grow and grow. It becomes so much big in your head that you're kind of like going, oh, now it's bigger than Ben-Hur and I don't know what to do. And then the anxiety gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's almost like you can put yourself in hospital with some of these things. All this sort of behavior and talk has to stop. So sometimes what I'm saying, with all due respect, is sometimes you're allowing your subconscious to just build on maybe one sentence that someone has maybe said that's a little bit negative. So I'm kind of urging you to, if that happens, learn to brush that off. Let it go by the wayside and kind of go, do you know what? That person doesn't like me for whatever reason, or they have an opinion about something and I don't agree, and that's okay. Don't react every single time, because every time you react, there's always the negative that comes to you, yeah? So all I'm asking you is you give yourself the benefit of the doubt. You build back up your self-confidence. If you need some help, please book in and we can go through all that. I've got my psychotherapy and holistic counselling degrees and stuff like that. And I'll be doing something a little bit different with that as of tomorrow. So that'll be an announcement I'll make tomorrow. Just think about those sorts of things. It's not, there's a big banner around mental health, but look at the government, how they say that everyone must be suffering under COVID and all this sort of stuff, and if you need to go talk to a counsellor, do it. Don't bottle it up. These are all things I've lived and breathed all my life, because the moment you bottle things up and can't release it and can't get the right strategic, I guess is the word, information back for you to work on yourself, things escalate and they can spiral. And that's not what we want in life. So if you're in need of some help, please reach out, because I'm happy to help in that way. Having said that, when your defense mechanism comes down a bit and you start appreciating yourself for a lot more, different things will open. The different things will happen, and more doors will open. But you have to start being proud of your achievements to date, because when you're not, you just go back into this slump, sweetheart. And you know me, I say everything with an open heart and with the greatest respect. And I don't want to be disrespectful for anyone. It's what I hear, it's what I feel, it's what I sense. And I have to bring that out, yeah? So that's where we need to go with that, okay? I hope everybody's loving and sharing the page. It's wonderful when you do, and because, getting the word out there on New Year's Eve, I think, is a wonderful thing. Okay, Kate, I'm going to come to you. Read autobiography. Also, month my centre will open. Okay. For some unknown reason, for someone who's taken a lot of time to put your autobiography together, and again, I say, I say everything with respect. It's almost like you're scared for it to be released. The fear factor in you is really high right now, and that fear factor is creating, it just came like a wolf even up my tummy. It's creating like an overwhelming sense of anxiety. Don't be fearful of the release of it. You know, in hindsight, if it doesn't move quickly in the beginning, it will, because word of mouth will get out there. And I say that because what Spirit is showing me is that it doesn't fly off the shelves as such, but having a slow release, as meaning, like, you know, it slowly goes one by one. People get to read it, people get to embrace who you are and what you do, and therefore word of mouth gets out. And it's when word of mouth gets out that's when they'll come off the shelf a bit more. But don't be disappointed if the start of that coming off the shelf is a little bit slow, because that's how I kind of, you know, that's how I'm being shown. I don't see, you know, people, you know, busting down doors to get it, but what I see is slow and steady wins the race. And you have to come back to that, and you have to, you can't take yourself in a bad spot when you keep saying slow and steady wins the race. And that's what I see there. The month that your center will open, look, that all depends on a number of things. Initially, I would have said not till May, and that's dependent on a few things, because I think there's some financial transactions that have got to go place. But in the beginning, I want to say to you, because you have to pick your timing given COVID and all that sort of stuff. You really have to be mindful, and you have to be proactive with that. So you have to work out, if COVID is still around and borders are closed and all that sort of stuff. If I said to you February, but February borders were still closed and whatever, well, then you'd say, well, Robin's wrong. But in hindsight, that would be, no, it could have worked in that time, but because of the situation, it's not going to work. So I need you to be a bit proactive with that. Like, if I wanted to say to you end of March, early April, then I would keep those dates in mind. But if borders are still closed and things are still going a bit crappy, which I hope they're not, and I really hope 2021, you know, we're going to not eradicate it completely, but, you know, I said back in before Christmas that we just should go back into lockdown again and give it a few months, and it will wipe it out again. But, you know, I was criticized and called the Grinch and all sorts of things, but that's exactly what's happened, and that's, you know, and it's what should partake. But anyway, you know, here we are today. But that's what I mean with you by choosing the center date, because I see late April, I see late March, early April. But if the borders and that are still closed, well, then theoretically and logically, you wouldn't do a grand opening in that time, because you wouldn't get the support or the people there that should be. So they're the dates I see, but just keep an eye on what's happening with the borders and such, my love. And let me know how you feel about that. But yeah, try and get rid of some of the anxiety and the fear around it, you know, and not necessarily the expectations of it, you know, rushing off the shelves, but slow and steady wins the race. You know, it's just the way it is. Yeah. Oh, Deborah, thank you so much for that, and I wish the same for you. I wish everybody a very happy and very different, but very happy and safe new year. And I want to say to a lot of people, if you're feeling a bit lonely or feeling a bit stuck in a rut, or feeling that COVID and 2020 have really screwed you over as such, then think about how you can possibly change a few things up. Think about everything that you do. Can you do something different, a little bit different, to achieve a better outcome? Start thinking outside the square. You know, we've had already a few months where businesses and all that sort of stuff have had to think outside the square. Now, excuse me, you know, how about we adapt that to all our personal stuff as well? Because yes, we've all taken a hit, and we've all, you know, gone through hard times and sad times and, you know, times of uncertainty, all that sort of stuff. Start thinking a little bit outside the square. Start asking yourself, like, you know, and tonight's the best night for it, in the sense of, you know, am I achieving the best I can? Am I thinking wrong? Am I putting too much of a negative spin on things? How can I do something a little bit different to maybe get a better or a more achievable outcome? These are all the questions you've got to start asking yourself, and move all that forward. You know, possibly, you know, if you don't have a journal, just get a notebook and start writing down some of those intentions. Like, ask yourself those questions and be very honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with yourself, then who can you be? Yeah. So even if you have to be a bit harsh on yourself in a book, you can pick that up, you know, in a month's time and look at it and go, oh my God, like, look at where I was, but look at where I am now. And that's the beauty of writing things down. So I hope that can help a lot of people tonight. Okay, what do you see in 2021 for me is my mum's birthday tomorrow. Does she have anything for... I go, it's my mum's birthday tomorrow. Does she have anything for me? Okay. Happy heavenly birthday to mum. She's you're a bit of a chip off the old block, I want to say. In more ways than one. Who's the excuse me, who's the smoker in the family? That's the first thing I tasted the minute I started thinking about your mum. Wow, okay, that's not a taste that I actually want. I can think of better things than cigarette taste. But anyway, moving forward. I want to actually say to you, and this might sound a little bit negative, and I don't want it to come across negative, but I need to give you a bit of a kick up the bum too. It seems to be a bit of a flavour. I mean, even on the last show that I was on, it's a bit of a flavour where certain things have happened to certain people throughout the year, and I think you're one of them as well, because Spirit is directing me to showing me that there's times where, and again, with respect, that it's almost like they're showing me things of, at times you've kind of sat in a lounge a bit curled up and kind of going, why is this shit happening to me? What have I done to deserve this shit? And by thinking that, whether it's a small thing or a big thing that's made you kind of go into that zone, it's escalated because of your reaction. And I understand that some people's reactions are that fierce, but it's how long you're in that kind of reaction that's what bothers me, in the sense that Spirit World is kind of saying, when you're like that, it almost shows me a scared little child that has either been reprimanded for something or has been made to feel like they've done something and they haven't done it at all, like someone else in the family has done it. So I'm being directed to that, and being that excuse me, being that, that person that's huddled up and scared. It's like when certain things happen, or somebody wrongs you, or somebody says something that you're not 100% feeling great with. It's like you go back into that little shell and be that scared little child. And I just think you stay there a little bit too long before you kind of bounce back out of it, if that makes sense. And Spirit is kind of saying to me, I'm your mum. I can hug you and I can get you through, but you need to fight as well. You can't always expect others to kind of pull you out of that. And I do say that with the greatest respect, because sometimes you need someone to grab you, to pull you out. But what Mum is saying is, stop relying on that, because you have the strength, you have the courage, you can do certain things. Stop listening to some of the crap that people are putting out to you, because it's just not true and it's not you. So I hope all that makes sense. And start, a little bit with someone else earlier. Stop listening to certain things. And a great saying that I have myself is that everybody has an opinion, because everybody's entitled to an opinion, but it's what you do with that opinion that matters. And that is the most important thing. So if you hear something about yourself, if someone says something straight to your face and you don't actually agree with it, you don't have to react every single time. Because when you're taking it to heart, that's what takes you back to that place. And that's where you need to kind of go, do you know what? I'm okay with that now, because I've brushed that, because I know that's not really directed at me. If they want to be a person that thinks that, I can't change that. Yeah? Love who you are, my sweet, because you are a beautiful person. You have a beautiful heart. Start embracing yourself with that, yeah? Because that's where we're headed. It's time to embrace yourself. Let me know how you feel. Rosie, Happy New Year to you, my love. I hope you have an enjoyable evening. Thank you for joining. Andrew, thank you for joining. Sheridan. Okay. Marianne, I didn't get to you on Eileen's show, so sorry about that. I can see that you've posted the same question. Most of the time I wasn't in control on the other one, but of course, we're here now. You're having second thoughts on the house. Why? Is the second work is the second thoughts just because it needs some work? Because what I hear is that the needing of the work to be done on it is actually a good thing, because then you get to put things in there and fix it up the way you want it and have it the perfect way that you want it, because you're putting your personal touch on it. Yes, it's going to take money. Yes, it's going to take some time, but you're doing this for the right reasons. I don't have second thoughts about the house at all. I think the beauty of, I shouldn't say the beauty of being overwhelmed, but that overwhelming feeling is you're allowing the fear of all the work that has to be done. You're allowing that fear to enter into the excitement of putting in the offer. So you're letting one overrule the other, if that makes sense. And the more I kind of tune into spirit, the more I see that you're happy with painting and moving things and creating a different room out of a room that's already there and knocking out a few walls, all sorts of big things, but one step at a time. Like, these would be baby steps due to financial reasons. But no, please don't have second thoughts on it, because I think the best thing you can do, and I know you put an offer on it, I think you can probably get away with coming down another few $1,000s on it, actually, if you feel comfortable with writing down some of the things that are wrong, or that you feel that you would want fixed, and kind of posing that back and sort of saying, well, in hindsight, this needs to be done and that needs to be done and that needs to be done. So therefore, that's going to cost us a whole lot of money. So, can we negotiate on that price again? And if the answer is no, that's okay, because the old saying is, if you don't ask, you don't get. Then what's the worst you can do? They'll accept the offer that you've already done. So to me, that's all okay. Please, I feel very okay about it, and I feel excited that you will actually get to show your creative side into creating something very different that you're going to love to be in there, yeah? So that's what I love there. Good evening, Donna. Thank you so much for joining. I don't think I've seen you on here for a while, so thank you for that. Danina, yes, long time no see, my love. I hope you're sitting back with possibly champers or a wine or something or other, and doing that. I've already done that one. Just the same one just flipped up. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to come here. Deborah, I'm sorry to hear that your brother's having a bit of a bad time with this, but where I need to go with this, and I probably need to touch, I probably need to be a little bit gentle, if that makes sense, in regarding, I think, I have to say it as I hear it and how I see it. I think your brother feels bad and is having lots of trouble in negotiating this stuff in his mind, because I think he saw something and he was there at some point where he didn't like what he saw and therefore can't cope with the information, if that makes sense. I do believe he was there at the end, and I think in hindsight that's kind of frightened him. It's kind of given him a window of, that can happen to me, and who's going to be here for me type thing. So I think he's gone in a direction where he's fearful, and he's fearful of passing, and he's fearful that, Dad has passed. So I think there might have been what I'm being directed to, like a noise, a sound that kind of came from his throat, to the degree that he's kind of like, well, what do? I don't know what that noise is like, and a kind of bit of panic, and hence I think that he has that in his head, where he's now kind of gone into a bit of a fear about dying, and a fear of even a fear of being on his own, when his time is up. So I know that sounds rather morbid, but it's very real to your brother, and if I can say anything, that Dad, I mean, he's proud of both of you, and there seems to be one other. So there seems to be three. I don't know whether there's a stepsister or someone in the mix, or a cousin, but there seems to be three that he's referring to. That, you're all loved equally, and you've all made him very, very proud. But there's still this round table of that people don't feel like, and yourself included. I know you're asking for your brother, but it's like the pair of you seem to think that you didn't do enough for him, or was there something that we missed? Was there more that we could have done? Did I actually make him proud? You've got all these questions, and to me they're all what ifs, because Dad's kind of saying, what the hell are you guys doing? You always made him proud, and I want to kind of be directed to two. He's kind of saying there was two little, I won't use the word he's using, but two little stuff ups that your brother did, but in younger years. But they were childhood things that probably 99.9% of us have done. So they're nothing for him to worry about as such, So this sort of the fear, the hurt, the feeling that he could have done more. That's why I think he's having a really hard time of, getting through this. And I'm directed to a book. Dad is saying that there is a book that he used to read that I think that you're unaware of it. It seemed, it's not like a latest novel or anything like that. There seems to be like a leather-bound book, a hard, it almost looks like a really old used book. And there are things in there, there's little quotes or something or other in there that used to help him get through some things. And I don't know who's got it. But he's saying that if either of you can, share it amongst yourselves, or if one is hurting, like if your brother's hurting, then you flip through it and find a quote or something that helps him through. And I think because that belonged to Dad, there's a close connection if your brother kept that near to him, if that makes sense. So let me know how you go there. And if your brother, in seriousness, if your brother needs a hand with grief counselling or stuff like that, please contact me, and we can arrange and we can sort that out for him, because I don't want him to keep feeling like that all the time. But my comment to you is thank you so much for asking for help for your brother. That's a very kind thing for a sister to do, so thank you for that. Okay. It's been a very difficult the past couple of months balancing my girls and work. Co-parenting is so hard, and I feel by myself. Court is February for custody, and I need inspiration. Okay, Christian, like what I want to say to you is, life can be hard, and breakups can be hard, co-parenting can be hard, single parenting can be hard, balancing your girls with your work, and then you've got COVID and all sorts of things in the mix. It can be all extremely hard, but it will be so worth it. And I know you feel like you've got nobody backing you in your corner, but because you have facts and figures and integrity and all that sort of stuff, I think that you feel like you're fighting a losing battle. However, the other party has got allegations that aren't true. The other party seems to feel that they're better than everybody else, and they will beat you at this. I feel that some of their claims, some of their comments, and I'm even down to the fact of I think that they are submitting 3 different affidavits, and I want to direct you to affidavit number 2. And I feel that in number 2, 3/4 of that is just lies. It's almost like she's paid someone to write a whole lot of crap. And sorry, but that's how it comes across to me. And I always, sometimes I try and clean up what Spirit says, but sometimes I have to say it as I hear it, because the impact is far greater for yourself, if you know what I mean. It's pretty tough. And I like to say I've been there, done that, but I don't have your girls. Like I had one. And if you've got a couple, then that's, a bit harder than me when I struggle with one. But I just think the other party, has somebody, and the old saying of somebody rooting in their corner, because there's not only a narcissistic controlling kind of energy that I'm feeling, there's more about some untruths as well. And when untruths are told in a court of law, then you'll become very, very anxious, because you're feeling that the law will take that person's side, because it's an affidavit. I was going to say my question I posed to you, but there is no question as such. What I want to say to you is Spirit is guiding me to go, do you know what? Stand your ground. Just stand your ground. Tell the truth. Whatever anyone else puts in an affidavit, do not worry about it at this point in time. The truth will portray in the end, and I feel that custody won't be an issue. Now, I've studied law and I've majored in family law, and I have to say that I didn't continue it because the performances that the lawyers put on is just it. It's a performance. They'll go and have a goddamn beer and whatever afterwards, and yet they're, don't even get me started on that. The law is good in some ways, but in other ways, not so good. So, I felt like, we're telling the truth all the time. I just didn't like all the people that presented things that are not the truth. And this is what I feel, in your scenario. But I also want to say too, even in the separation, there seem to have been some untruths being thrown around with family and friends as well as, and I think that's caused a bit of rift within your life as well, which I'm sorry for. But please know that, there is a few people that are on your side, excuse me, and stay strong within yourself, because you're the person that is fighting this. But don't kind of fall into the, oh my God, people are going to believe them rather than us and all this sort of stuff, because that's when you're kind of putting all that false negativity into yourself. I feel like everything will be fine. I know you're going through a rough trot, and when I say I know, it's because I've been there, done that, and it is a really rough road, and a lot of things are said where you just shake your head, and don't be frightened of standing up for the truth in that court of law. I think you'll be totally fine, and I think your kiddies, your girls, already they have the highest amount of respect for you, and sometimes they don't show it, because well, I think that one of them's a little bit too young anyway, but Spirit is telling me that their love for you is enduring, and they're your rock, and you will stay their rock. Yeah. So let me know how you feel about that. Okay. Where am I going? Okay. Samantha, that's lovely. And do you know why I think you saw it tonight? Because everything we spoke of earlier, everything with you, your brother, your dad, everything. I think that the orb, and I think a few of them were again just validating what was said earlier. Thank you for joining me after after 2 hours of the other one. Lovely. Thank you. Thank you, Slav. Slav has been a long time viewer of Psychic TV, and that's where I first did my first reading. Not my first reading, but Slav's first reading on Psychic TV, and I thank you for your kind words, Slav. It's always very humbling to me when people show their appreciation, and they follow me for a while, and they're guided by my direction with spirit, and my direction just in other matters as well. It really is comforting to hear. So thank you. Okay, so I think we have another troll just for the fun of it. Sorry, guys. Tammy, I'm going to come to you. Tammy, I want to say to you that you're asking about your relationship. I don't sense that you're in one, so I do apologise that if you are in one, if that is the case, then what Spirit is then showing me is there's not a lot of love in it, because Spirit doesn't show me that you're actually in a relationship. So having said that, that sounds awful to think that if you are, that there's not a real lot of love there. But anyway, I have to go with what I hear. If that is completely off the charts and wrong, and you're actually not in a relationship, then I don't actually see one coming around the corner anytime soon either. And again, with all due respect, it's more about the uncertainty that has surrounded most of us. And I don't want to give anyone false hope. Like if I, for instance, if Spirit jumps in and tells me there's one, someone coming into your life, or that you meet someone in 6 to 8 months, then I have to actually add a further 6 months onto that, just so we're a bit clear out of the COVID stuff. So that is the only reason why, I say that. So I don't think that there is anyone around the corner, at all. And I think that what I feel also too is that you've been hardly done by throughout 2020. To be perfectly honest, I think somebody actually took you for a ride. Spirit is kind of showing me that direction, that someone actually took you for a ride, and it was all very nice, and then you kind of felt crushed, and it was kind of like a real quick emotion that kind of hit you like a bomb. And then I think that you fell into that, I was going to say trap them. It's not really a trap when you feel sorry. Excuse me. It's not really a trap when you feel sorry for yourself, because there are moments, if someone does that to you, that you are going to feel upset and you are going to feel hurt, and you need that time to go through those emotions. What I'm teaching people at this point is that, if you get angry about something or whatever, say to yourself, I'm going to allow that anger to escalate for 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, I have to push it aside. And then I have to kind of reevaluate things. And I just feel with you that a disappointment of someone, I keep hearing it, a disappointment of someone taking you for a bit of a ride has been rather upsetting. And but don't fall into the trap of being too vulnerable that someone else can do it. And I say that with respect, because when your heart's been hurt, then if someone comes along and props that up, but they don't have good intentions either, then your heart will be more shattered. So I need to make you aware of that. I think that you're very smart. I think that you have a kind heart, but don't allow that kind heart to be roped into something that's not actually real. If you understand what I mean, I think over time you have taught yourself how to bring out the inner warrior in yourself. Have her come out and protect you in the next couple of months, and with her protection, you will see yourself through any of the hurt of 2020. And I see you bouncing back, but I see you bouncing back in a way where you learn. You don't go and judge people, but you learn to kind of sit back and allow your gut to kind of assess people that come into your life. And it's that assessment that you learn to do that you're able to pick up the real from the fake, if that makes sense. So I hope that's helped. And yeah, just let me know how you feel about that. Yeah, that would be great. Okay, Kim, could you please let me know if the changes I wish to make towards my business is the right move. Kim, I think there's probably, to be honest, I think you're thinking about 3 or 4 different things. Spirit have directed me to 3 and 4, so I have to go with that. Are they all the right things? Okay. Kim, can you do me a huge favor? Because I'm seeing 3 and 4. Can you, and you don't need to do this right now, but if you write down the order of those 3 or 4 that you're thinking of doing, but please question mark number 3, because that's what I'm being shown. So I'm being shown 3 or 4 different ideas that you've been thinking of. You want to introduce them. You want to change up a few things. And these are ideas that have been mulling over in your head for a couple of months. And you haven't introduced them as yet, because I think you're a little bit wary anyway. But I think you were kind of waiting for the right moments. And the way I feel, even though you've got some online businesses and stuff like that, I feel that maybe the influx of things have not been moving as quick as what you'd hope. So therefore, I think that that's what created the mood type thing for you to come up with bigger and better ideas. But I am being told that there's 3 or 4 things that you'd really like to introduce. But if you could please write them down in the order that you feel, because they're your ideas, I'm being directed to question mark number 3. So if there's 4 ideas, then number 3 I think is a bit not the right thing. And if you want to discuss that further and get my opinion on that, you're welcome to. If you've only got 3 ideas, then the last one is obviously not going to fly, is what I see there. I think you'll do well with the others, but I don't see a real, how do I say this, a real rush on things till about the last week of January, because people are still in shell shock. People are still, kind of, they may not have had the best Christmas or New Year, but they've kind of gone on a frenzy of maybe overbuying for friends and relatives at Christmas, because they kind of felt, well, if we can't be with them, if we can't celebrate, I have to make up for it somehow. So I don't think a lot of finances are going to be freed up until towards the end of January, as such. So you have time to reevaluate the ideas that you have. But as I said, number 3 is not looking too flash for me. So let me know what you think. And as I said, if you want to run some ideas past me, then I'm happy to kind of jump in and sort of say, hey, I think this one's great, or no, I think this one's not. And or even of that third one, if you want to hit me with the third one, well, then we can, we can work on that. Anyway, I hope that helps, my love. Let me know how you feel. Okay. Where are we going? Okay, let me have a look here. I was curious as to why I've always felt special, magical, and as if I'm meant for something big spiritually. If that is too in depth for a free reading, I'll take next week's lotto numbers. Just kidding. If I could do lotto numbers, do you think I'd be working at all? Andrew, if you have great intuition, your problem with the intuition is, though, that your head overrules. I'm just going to get that out of the way for a sec. Your head overrules what your intuition has said. It's hard when people start out in the world of learning or developing their skills to really trust their intuition, because sometimes, and sometimes I've got to be honest, just sometimes I kind of go, oh, that doesn't seem right to me. It's more about sometimes it what you hear and what you feel in your gut feels so wrong that your head kind of goes, oh, that's not right. And your head starts going, no, and then your head starts expanding and what ifs and doing this and putting this over here, and B goes with C and A goes with Z, whatever the case may be, which is why you then start not criticizing, but not listening to your gut. So I feel there's a lot of things that you have to develop to become more in tune with yourself. That's the best way I can say that. The doubt has to go. The leap of faith has to come in. The trusting your own instincts, there has to be more confidence that way. And I know that I know that you want to do all this, but it's that little niggle that keeps saying, oh, no, maybe not. Maybe I'm not good enough yet. Well, you can't be good enough unless you keep expanding on what you already have. If you have some natural ability, expand on that. Learn something else to put into the mix. Do some things. I mean, God, when I was I think I was 8 or 9 when I was doing readings for my friends. Set yourself some targets. Do all those sorts of things. But if you go down that path, you've got to be really prepared to let go of a lot of things to embrace everything else that you need to learn, if that makes sense. So, that's probably all I can elaborate on here, because I can go very in depth with it, but I can't. But those sorts of things, yeah, you do need to work on a bit there. So I hope that's enlightened you a bit. Okay. How are we going, everybody? Have we got any more loonies? If you're talking to me, lovely, on that, my Mystique pages, all my Mystique pages are public. So I know my Robin page is private, but all my Mystique pages are public, my love. Thank you. Hi, Donna. Thank you. I hope you're having a wonderful evening and a happy new year to you, my love. Thank you, Michael. It's great when people can validate it. Who is this goose? It's lovely when people can validate it at the time of having this. Kirsten, like I've already gone through that. You will be fine. Your kids will be fine. Like, it's really hard for kids to adapt up front. But everything will be fine. I had no doubts when I was reading with you and connecting with Spirit before. So yeah. Bernice, hello, my friend. My health for 21. I worry about it. Can you see any clues? Love your work. Thank you so much. What a beautiful comment. You guys give me so many compliments. It's so very nice to have. I do appreciate each and every one of you that stick with me, or that share, that that reminds me. Sorry, Bernice. Let's pull a name out. I have all these names in here. Yeah. Shake, shake, shake. I haven't done one. We've been on air for over an hour and I haven't pulled out a name. I'm bad. I am bad. My first one of the night, I have Debbie Bailey. Actually, haven't seen her name come up tonight. But if you're here, Debbie, please inbox me your address so I can send you a gift. See, it's New Year's Eve, but Santa's been and gone and whatnot, but I'm still going to play Santa. And the other one I have is Joanne Phillips. So Joanne, if you're here, please inbox me your address. And although with lockdown, I really probably can't send any gifts out till January at some point, but they will be on their way. Please inbox me your details and we'll sort that out. I've almost forgotten about those little names in the hat, but anyway, we'll just keep going. Bernice, I actually want to where is Spirit taking to me? Okay. I'm being taken to your gut, and I'm also being taken to your right hip. Spirit tells me, though, that all your gut issues seem to stem from stress, although some of it, yes, I firmly believe when Spirit says that some of it is from not necessarily a bacteria forming your gut, but a reaction to something that you're eating. And it will continue to give you reactions. My advice there, if you actually know that you can't eat something and you still do because you love it, I would probably advise to steer clear of that for about 6 weeks and see the difference that it does to your gut. But if you don't know of anything, then my advice would be going to a naturopath and maybe having one of those allergy tests to see if there's something that, you know, that you're eating that's actually affecting it there. But Spirit also told me that some of those gut issues are also stress related. And stress can, if that is a weak point of your body, stress will always go to your weakest point. So I feel with you that half and half. Part of it is stress, part of it is something that's not quite agreeing with you. And I think the only way you're going to work out what that is, I mean, like if I told you to get rid of all your stress, that's not going to happen overnight. So I would be thinking about, you know, maybe over the next couple of weeks, seeing how you feel when you eat certain things and just seeing if you can kind of work that one out yourself. And if you can, that's fabulous. But if you can't, yeah, I would suggest going to a naturopath and just getting, that allergy test they do up your arm or whatever they do and work out, what foods that you could be allergic to. Because I think it would, if half of that was eliminated, then the other half that is stress related can be worked on gradually where you don't stress as so much over certain things, and that will get a bit better. Now, when I saw the right hip as well as, now I don't know if you've got pains in your lower back on the right side of that hip, or if actually it is the hip itself. It seems at times, sometimes when you get up, you start to limp and then it kind of comes good, is what I'm being shown. If it's a lower back issue, please get that looked into, because I feel that could get a little bit worse before it gets better. And by having it looked at, then you can kind of, how do you say it? Like, you can do like a, oh God, what is Spirit trying to tell me? What is that word? Like a management plan on keeping everything under control or at bay or whatever the case may be. So I feel that that's on the right-hand side though. And don't kind of, overextend. I don't know why they're saying this. They're sort of saying don't overextend that leg. So there's something going on, obviously, on that right-hand side. Apart from that, like I'm not picking up on anything major. I don't feel there's anything to worry about as such, because if you get on top of those other two things, I think that you'll feel a whole lot better. And probably check on the level of magnesium and zinc that's in your body, because if that's out of whack too, that will throw out false, like things like cramps or pins and needles in feet or legs or whatever else. So that will give you some false things on things going on in your body. So maybe have that checked at the same time. Apart from that, I think that, I don't have any worries about that. So I hope that helps, and thank you for joining, and let me know how you feel. Okay, where am I going? Where am I going? Kim. Will they? Have you changed to a new one of recent? Did you get fed up with the last one and change? Reason why I ask is I think if you have, I'm being shown there's a new one in the mix. So if you haven't recently changed, please consider that for January, because it seems the new one, after a couple of appointments, gets you down to a T. I also feel like there's a couple of tests that haven't been done. Yeah, I think the new one, as much as I love old-fashioned doctors because they seem to, retain a lot of information when they've been seeing you for a long time, but I think some of their information is stalemate. I think when there's a younger, newer doctor on the case, so to speak, where I feel that new methods of finding things out often come into play. And that's what I think here. I think that you've either recently got a new one, and if you haven't, please go and see if you can, because that other bit of input will be quite vital. Yeah. So I do. I like. I don't. I know it's frustrating. I know it's really worrying, and it's you've probably fed up to the back teeth of it. And it's probably create other issues that are going on with you too. But in hindsight, as I said, if you don't have a new doctor in the mix, then source out a new one in January. A new set of eyes, a new sort of different test is going to be is going to be more welcomed for you. Yeah. So let me know how you go with that. Thank you for joining. Hey, my beautiful friend. I rang you for Christmas, you didn't answer. How dare you? Anyway, that's life. I know. Look, I called the lockdown on the northern beaches before it happened. I called it probably, I think it was 4 days before we actually went into lockdown, whatever. And everyone told me I was the Grinch. Everyone told me I was crazy. Everyone told me I was an idiot. But here we are. And I still feel, to be quite honest, I still feel, even though that, they've kind of, a lot of people are directed to that one cluster. There are a couple of other clusters that have opened up. And I do feel that Gladys might be better off. I know you're not going to like this. Anyway, I was just reading the other part of your message. Sorry. But I think that she needs to go back to the orders that we kind of had in March and April, with the stay-at-home orders, only go out if necessary, because if she does that for another couple of months, I know businesses are going to hate me for that. And, I copped a hiding through it all as well. I had a full-time job. I don't have that full-time job anymore. My Mystique business has always been Mystique. But there'll be a few changes with that, which I'll talk about tomorrow, because now's not the time to be doing that. But I've had to think of other ways, because I'm going to put it bluntly, I don't care if other people are watching that are in the industry that I'm in, or in the office that I'm in, if that's the way of saying it. But I was screwed over for someone who's very loyal, and that's not very nice. So there's, and I know, Anthony, that COVID would have affected your business as well. And, it's horrible to think that we might go into lockdown again, and only go out for necessities. But if it's only for a couple of months, like the one before was 4.5 months, and we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know anything about it. We didn't know, those of us who never worked at home probably kind of went, oh my God, what is this? We all felt trapped. We all felt all sorts of things. I think now that we've kind of got used to a few things, I don't think this time will be as bad. But I don't know what Gladys will do on the 2nd. Unfortunately, the north part of the Northern Beaches is definitely locked down to the 9th. We will get another. Not necessarily reprieve, but Gladys will come out with another comment on the 2nd to see what this end of the Northern Beaches will have to do. But yeah, and you know what can we change about it? You know, if we're all vigilant, if we all do, you know, not that I want to say if we all do as we're told, but if we think about things seriously, there was no statistics this year on the flu or pneumonia. All the statistics lead to COVID. Yes, everybody was washing their hands and everyone was wiping things down, all the rest of it, and that probably, you know, got rid of the flu. But there wasn't even the talk of, you know, the flu vax is here, you know, go and get your flu vax. There wasn't even that talk around. So there's actually no statistics on the flu and pneumonia this year. You know, and it probably wasn't about it like it used to be. But yeah, COVID has, you know, it's given us all a kick up the bum. This is another idiot. Excuse my French. And when it's given us a kick up the bum, we've had to think outside the square. You know, and if I can give anyone a sneak peek on maybe what I'll do, or not maybe, but you know, my qualifications and my degrees in my counselling, you know, psychotherapy have all been attached to Ms Tique. It's time that was separated. You know, Ms Tique is for this line of work. It's for connecting with spirit. It's for doing mind, body, spirit festivals. It's for, you know, doing stage presentations, all that sort of thing. The other side of me needs to be separate. So it's not a matter of introducing something new. It's just separating and doing something better with that side, with the opposite side. You know what I mean? But that will, you know, I'll sort that out. Anthony, thank you for always showing up. Thank you for being a wonderful supporter and a lover of everything I do. You know, when we were younger, I don't know whether you actually believed in what I could do, but that's okay, because in our older years of friendship, you've really shown how much trust and that you've had in me. So I thank you for that. Marianne, I needed to hear this. Yeah, you did. And I think it was all for the best. Yeah. It's, you know, it's sometimes it can be that simple. Yeah. And sometimes I sound like I'm giving someone a kick up the bum, but I do it with love and respect. You know, there's never a time where I'm going to be disrespectful to someone. And sometimes it's funny that spirit comes through with some comments that I think are a bit choice, but I repeat them because then you guys then know that's coming from the person, because it's normally their personality that comes through, and it's, not mine, so to speak. So yeah, so I hope you can all embrace that and know what I'm coming from there. Sue, I think you're a first or second time viewer. Thank you for joining. Is anyone watching over you? You mean to tell me you don't know that? I'm not picking on you, my love. I'm just kind of saying that because I think that you feel things, and I think that you see. It's more about, I think, that you don't know who that person is, and I want to say persons with an S. So I feel with you that I have a passed over friend, but I also have a grandma, and I understand that grandma left you a few things, and every so often you get those out and reminisce. But I want to say to you that, to you, grandma is very close to your heart. And at times, I also probably want to say that some of her demure, some of the way that she does things, that you seem to do that as well. It seems that her heart and some of the ways that she did things when you were younger, you kind of probably thought, oh, what is she doing type thing, but you've taken on that. It's almost like you've taken that on board, and not part of your personality is hers, but part of her strengths, part of her courage, part of her, getting up and continuing on is being instilled in you. So I think there's a great lot of respect between you and your grandma. But I also feel that too, that a passed over friend pops by and says hello on occasions as well. And, that is a female. And she presents with quite long hair, and she presents with virtually saying, I'm okay. I think that you worry from time to time. You worry whether her transition wasn't pleasant. And I'm here to say it was fine. It's kind of maybe something that you have in your mind that you feel that people don't transition well, but I want to say that she transitioned okay. But I think you felt a bit lost when you lost her, if that makes sense. I also want to say to you, there's something in your. Do you have a dining room? Like, it feels that there's a dining room separate to a lounge room. Yeah, you have a dining room and you have like a centerpiece, and it's that centerpiece that has some significance to your grandma, because it's grandma that's directing me to that centerpiece. And whether it's out full time or whether you put something on there on Christmas Day or even tonight, there's some significance with grandma. So I want to say it's something of hers. It's something that she loved. It could be something of yours that she loved so much, or something that was brought together. It's just something. There is some significance there where, from my heart to yours, she has her arms open going, thank you for acknowledging that I'm here. Thank you for trying to connect. And now you know that, she's there. Speak with her. Invite her in, let her know that you feel okay with that, and she'll be there with bells on. So thank you for joining me tonight. Okay, so Nan was a heavy smoker. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you for clarifying that. Yes. Sometimes some of us do learn the hard way, and sometimes it's really awful. But it at the same time, it teaches us something too. If anything, any of our hard times, any of our bad times, if you can think of it another way, we hate going through bad times and rough times. However, what do you take away from it? Do you learn anything from that experience? Because if you don't, you need to open your eyes and learn from it, because then that stops you from it happening again. Yeah. So each time something goes wrong, yes, allow yourself 10, 15 minutes to be angry about it or whatever, but take something away from it each and every time. Yeah. Thank you, Sue. Thank you for joining. If you can let me know how you felt about what I said, that'd be great. Dean, thank you so much. We have to have a session soon. There's lots going on with you, my friend. Probably more than, I don't want to say more than you know, but there's a few things going on with you, and a few things that have happened. So yeah, we'll have to have a session. Disney, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Diane. That's lovely. That is lovely. Look, I'm very mindful of the time, and I'm just, I know that the fireworks are only going to be on for 7 minutes. Are you guys going to jump off and watch it for 7 minutes and come back, or do you want me to pause? Do you want me just to keep going and not worry about it? Let me know. Kirsten, look, thank you. If I've helped in any way, I'm blessed to have a gift, and I love working with spirit. I also enjoy the other side of what I do too. So it's, if I've helped you in any way, or just even made you feel more okay about what's coming up, in court, then I'm happy to have helped. And if you need clarification anywhere further down the track, please do not hesitate to contact me, and we can have a full session as such, where it can be one-on-one, and only the focus on that yourself. That I feel that may be needed as such. Yeah. Sorry, my current situation is forcing me to go stay with my ex-abusive husband for the sake of my daughter. Will we be okay? That's a tough one, because it's the way you go about what happens under the same roof. To me, Spirit is kind of saying, if there's any other way, then please look at any other way. You're saying your current situation is forcing you to go and stay. There are refuges and stuff like that you can go and speak to and get some guidance and get some help. However, if you feel that you have to go back there, then you distance the dealings. You distance a few things, because what happens is that sometimes if you're feeling a little bit vulnerable in there, then why isn't my computer working? Sorry. If you're feeling like a little bit vulnerable under the roof, then you could, Spirit says, you could go back to a bit of forgiveness in him. Any person that touches another, it's not good. It's not good. So I'm kind of sorry, I've got a troll as well, so I'm half kind of trying to get rid of the troll at the same time. And thank you, Kim, for alerting me to that. If you really have to go back, then you have to go back. I'm hearing more of, please try and resource another way, because at times you could be feeling vulnerable, and then that person could take advantage, and that's what I'm worried about, and that's what Spirit comes through with. And they've said it to me now 3 or 4 times, so I have to be mindful of how that's in my face a few times. I know you're probably going to say to me, no, I'm strong and I won't allow that to happen, but trust me, when you're under the same roof, I've seen it happen before. And it's more that I really hate to say this because it's a public thing, but it's mainly the child gets kind of used as a go-between, and that's really not fair for your daughter. That's why I'm kind of saying, is if there's any other way, please investigate that, because Spirit just keeps on saying to me that a bit of vulnerability will be taken for granted, and he will start to think that he's back in control, and all this sort of stuff will fire back with his control stuff. And I probably can't go into further detail on here for that very reason, because it gets kind of too personal. But just be mindful that if you really can't go anywhere else and go there, don't allow the vulnerability, and don't allow the play acting of words get to you. You're stronger than that, and stay strong for it. But please look at other avenues, because other avenues just won't then allow you to get into that situation. But let me know how you go with that. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Really nice. If I've been that way with a few of you tonight, please, if you would like to go to my Ms Tique Psychic Medium page and leave me a review, that would be wonderful. Work often comes around by people placing reviews, because then they it's not me writing it, or it's not me copying it from someone's email or something. It's the person actually writing the review. So if you can do that, that'd be great. I'd appreciate that from anyone that I've read for tonight. Oh, thank you, Sandra. I haven't seen you since last Easter. Last year, not this year. We're heading. Oh no, actually, we've just hit 12:01. So I'm going to stop for a moment. Happy New Year to all of you. I love that you've joined me tonight. On that note, I'm going to draw another name because we've got to do that because it's 12 o'clock. We are now in 2021. Let the games begin. Jenny Morgan, if you're watching, Happy New Year to you, and please inbox me your address so I can send you something. Surprise, surprise. And who else have I got? Oh my God, I just spoke about you. Anthony Friday. Anthony, my love, please inbox me your address so I can send you a gift. Happy New Year to you. I'm going to go for a third one. I love giving away stuff. So much fun. Okay. At this point, Diane McLaughlin, if you're still here, can you inbox me your address? Because I will also have something for you. And there's people out in the street screaming out Happy New Year, and someone's letting off fireworks. I didn't think they were allowed to do that, but anyway. Sandra, Happy New Year to you. I miss you. I can't wait for Easter. Now I can say this year, 2021, to catch up with you again. Kim, thank you so much. I will do that, as I do have a few ideas. I'm playing around with you. No problem, Kim. But yeah, let me know if I can help you with anything to do with that, because I'd be honored to. Okay. David, is my dad Greg coming through at all? Oh, it's just gone a very eerie quiet. How interesting. But I can also hear that someone's fallen over the brick wall outside. Oh, teach him a lesson. Okay. What have I got here for you, my love? Can I say to you that I do have a gentleman here that's presented himself, and I want to say to you that as much as he presents as someone that may have been in the military, and I don't believe he has, but I believe he has, how can I say it, like the attitude and the mindset of somebody in one of those roles, if that makes sense. So he's a man that has a lot of control in how he speaks. He's a man that presents in a way where everything is smick and shiny, if that makes sense as well. But also sometimes I feel that even the way he's talking to me sometimes comes across quite harsh, where I think you kind of not mistook him for the wrong type of person when you were younger, but you misunderstood the way he was so precise, and the way he was so structured, and the way he spoke. As a young person, you wouldn't have known what all that was about, but it seems that there's a lot of structure with your dad. And I want to say that even when in his working life, he was quite structured and quite, I'm being shown a watch, so I have to go with like very much a time, not a time consuming person, but a man who stuck to time. When Spirit shows me a watch, there's two meanings for it. Either you have a watch of his, or it is just a watch because he was a person that really was a stickler for time. So if he said he wanted things, he wanted people at the table at 7 o'clock, then if you're a minute late, he would really question on why the hell you were late type thing. If he was to be somewhere at 7 o'clock, well, then he would be there and walk in the door at 7 o'clock sharp, because that's how structured he was. So he comes through with, and I don't want to say a false persona, but that the way he is so structured and some of the ways that he talks and the tone, it's almost like you may have believed for a while that there was not a lot of love because he doesn't show that side of him. I'm here to say there was so much love. He had so much, he still does, has so much respect for you. Although I do feel there was a falling out there at some point as well. I'm kind of being directed to a split where I have to say there was a bit of falling out there, but you did make amends. But when you made amends, it was really good, and I'm really pleased how you kind of took a stand and you set the boundaries. So you were like, well, I'm a man now too, and I like things done this way, and because I'm the man of my house and you're the man of your house, and we just have to have the happy medium, pardon the pun. But that's how it seems that happened after that split. And I think the split did the world of good for your dad, because I think that made him, again, pardon the pun, stand to attention and realise that, that you are a man and you're entitled to your own opinion. And I think that it was then he stepped back and kind of go, yeah, my son is mine, and my son is following in my footsteps. So that's where all this proud, as I said, almost military style, conversation comes in, because he is very proud. I also have to ask you about a business proposition. He's saying something about either you've recently looked at signing a business proposition or that's coming up. I actually leaning more towards that you're thinking about it and not knowing what decision to make. Whatever the case may be, I'm being directed to, when you're looking at a new contract for this particular business proposition, please look at page 21. Wow, okay, that's getting really specific. Is that because we're in year 21 now? But I'm being directed at page 21. I'm also being directed to paragraph 4. I love how spirit works sometimes. So direct in so many ways and so flippant in other ways. And if that is actually something that you've already been able to breeze through and have a look at, then go back and reread it. If it's something that hasn't come to you yet, then you need to be well aware of it and just highlight it, just so they don't think that you've missed it. I don't feel that it'll go against you unless you want to get out of that later. That's where I feel that it may play a part there. So I hope that helps you. And just let me know how you feel about that, David. That'd be appreciated. Okay. Okay, let me see. Sandra, we'll come back to you in a sec. Sorry, I've just got another troll, so I'm just trying to get rid of that. If I block a couple of them, then they can't continue on with their crappy frivolities. Anyway, Sandra. Kevin. Sandra, I know you're not a person that, how do I say this? I know you're not a person that shows or displays anger against anybody, because you always see the good in people, which I love. However, I feel with Kevin that you seem to be angry. And I actually feel that the anger is like it's really hitting home to me. I feel like the anger is not justified, or I feel like there's no reason or no explanation as such for you to be angry, because in general, everyday stuff, you're not a person that does get angry. And whether this is anger because he's gone, then that's something that we need to talk about, that you need to release, because he can't help that he's gone, my love. But I know you miss him, and I know there's children, and I know there's other family members, and I know, well, I'm only saying I know because that's what I'm being shown, but I feel that there's anger, resentment, and something that's not quite right there. And as I said, I don't know any of your family at all, but I know you. I did the Easter show with you in 2019, and you have this lovely persona and this kindness, and I just can't see you being angry, but there's some built up, and you don't display it as such. Like, the anger that you have that I'm feeling now, you don't actually display that as such. You do keep the cards close to your chest in that manner. But I have to keep coming back to addressing this anger, because he's saying, why are you angry? You couldn't have stopped anything happening, and there's no need for you to be angry. But he's also saying that, getting away from the anger a bit, he's also saying there's something that he's angry about, because you're not putting, how, how do I put what he's saying? It's like you've had a few opportunities that you've passed by, and whether that's because of COVID, whether you felt like you didn't want to get out there in public and do certain things, then so be it. But that's time of that has got to be kind of put to the shelf. Yeah, there's a few things that you're itching to do, but you don't know how to move forward and do it. There's something holding you back. Do I believe that is confidence in with yourself? Maybe, but again, that doesn't seem like you. But Spirit is directing me to, we've gone into a little bit of doubt on a few things, and not doubt about your own ability, but just doubts about certain things that you can't put your finger on. So there's a few phases that you're going through, like bit of anger, bit of doubt. Whether it's also to a few self-esteem issues, whether you've had a really hard time through COVID and you don't know how to kind of get out of a rut. These are all things that seem to be compiling and compelling onto you. If you need a chat to release some of that, please let me know. I'll gladly have a chat with you and try and work out what's going on there. But I just get the sense, and I keep seeing this man with this round face that's got this beautiful smile that says to me, tell her to put her best foot forward because she can. So I think you're just a little bit frightened of something right now. Not like you, my love. You're pretty open-minded, you're pretty open-hearted, you're pretty good at what you do. I don't know why there'd be some doubt there. But yeah, maybe we need to work on it. But Kevin, I mean, my God, he is so funny. He has a beautiful smile, and the laugh that goes with it is extraordinary. He is directing me though to the right top part of his shoulder. Is there a scar or something? Is there something that you did as kids that he's showing me a scar from, and kind of wants to say, she gets her own way, doesn't she? And points to the right part of the top part of his arm. I don't know what that is, but yeah, I'll have to throw it in there because that's what he was saying, which I think is funny. But that's okay. That's all good. That's all good. Okay. I'm just going to see what's here. So it's been a year, a big move for me, and looking forward to some things in the new year. But I have a few concerns for my dad. I don't know why, my love. I'm not. I didn't feel that when I read for you a little while ago. I didn't feel the concerns. Breezer, my love, you don't have a question for me? Can you jump in with a question? Another troll, of course I have. Okay, Kim, you did see a new doctor. Awesome. How do you feel about it? Because I think as I was saying, I was picking up on, I think a few different things are going to be proposed to you in a way of, a new test or a new something that they're going to, he's not brushing it off. I don't feel I don't feel there's any brush off as such. Like, it's someone that's taking you seriously, but somebody who is up to date with stuff. And that's sorry, that's no disrespect to your last doctor, but some doctors I love because they do have a mountain of information on you because they have been seeing you a long time. But then I feel sometimes that gets stale. Yeah. I'm glad you're seeing a new doctor. Please keep me up to date on that. That'd be great. Anthony, there's no reason to be sorry. I just felt like you're ignoring me. Just to make you feel worse. You've still got to do something for my birthday that's been and gone. What is wrong with you, my love? Anyway. Oh, that's funny. Sorry, I just had to throw that at you. No problem, Bernice. If you, again, I say if you would like to leave me a review on my Ms Tique page, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. Okay, Kim, you say what you like, as I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a new year in 12 minutes and time to flush out the shit and be an ice cream flow. You know me, Kim, I kind of say it as it is sometimes, Sometimes we just have to be blunt and sometimes, but I say everything with my heart. Like I never say anything to offend anybody. Because sometimes spirit world, and you would know in your business as well, sometimes spirit world says things that are abrupt or a bit choice, but the person ends up saying, oh my God, that is how dad speaks, and that's why we have to say it the way we hear it, because that's just what happens. But I do appreciate you saying that. It's lovely of you. Why do I have to reconnect somewhere? What's gone wrong there? Don't know. Bear with me for a second. I don't know what happened there. Anyway. Well, I love both sides, Robin. Okay. Both sides of... Okay. Confused a little bit. I'm sure you'll let me know. You're welcome, Tammy. You're welcome. Thanks, Anthony. I've blocked the idiot now, but thank you. Unfortunately, we get these trolls. Jacqueline. We had a great Christmas day and talked about Dad, and my mum enjoyed the day. Oh, that's lovely. I hope it really went well, and I hope you I hope that the discussions were, to me, they now kind of like, rehearing some things. It's almost like the discussions got not when I say a bit choice, it's not that they got bad, but they kind of got a bit fiery, they got a bit feisty, they got a bit loving, they got a bit laughing. Like it was like a mixed bag of everything, which I think is just, I think it's awesome. So Thank you, thank you for letting me know. That's beautiful. God love you. Okay. Okay. Having you be well, thank you so much for your time. I honestly did not think I would be sitting here with you tonight, but obviously meant to be here. Yeah, look, Kim, I'm grateful that you were. Obviously there was, a strong message there for you and stuff that the changes that you want to make for 2021. For people who don't know, yes, Kim is a psychic as well. I've never worked with Kim. I haven't worked alongside her. I haven't worked with her at shows or anything. It's nice. It's nice to know that you entrusted me with your question, because there are some fakes out there, as we all know. And it was my pleasure to read for you, and it was my pleasure to if I can help in those decisions, or run past that number 3. That number 3 is stuck in my head. Then yeah, I'm happy to. Again, appreciate you joining and appreciate the respect in the industry. So thank you so much. Danina, 4 minutes to go. So you must have written that when it was 4 minutes to midnight or something, did you? Because I'm way behind the times here. I only met my grandma a couple of times, but when I met her in 1972, she gave me a lovely china tea set for one, and I have always had it on display. Okay. That's obviously what it was, Sue. I know there was something that was, directing me to that, that what I saw was, from memory, was that the dining table with like a centerpiece, and that kind of is always like something is always on show. So obviously, she respects that that you still have it and you still have it on display, and it means so much to you, and that's that really is a beautiful connection there. So thank you for validating that. Thank you for letting me know. It's awesome. Oh my God, now I've got this other crazy person that just sends the biggest message. Anyway, I also got home from her, from what my family said, I seemed to be her favourite, probably because I was the one that was so far away. No, look, I don't think it's that. People have certain connections and certain respects with people. Oh, StreamYard's lost my connection again. What's going on? Sorry, guys. I understand my connection is dropping out. Maybe because everyone's sending out Happy New Year comments to everybody, which oh my God, this person has hacked my bloody. Are you serious? Idiot. That's annoying. Anyway. Oh my God. Hackers have just, not hackers, but trolls have just gone insane. And it's really going to affect this feed, because I keep getting these messages from StreamYard and Facebook saying, people are trying to get into your account, blah, blah, blah. My goodness. Wow. Sorry, guys. Not what I intended. Okay, look, I've just scrolled down the very bottom. There is just so many trolls now. I'm actually going to finish this feed now. It's not the way that I wanted to finish, because there is so many messages here that I haven't got to. But truly, what I can see without scrolling to the bottom, there's about 14 different trolls. and I have to get rid of it. I'm just going to draw out another 2 names before we go, because I feel that way. Catherine Helena, if you're here, can you please inbox me your address so I can send you a gift? Yay! Oh my God, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Danina, you're in my head. You're in my head. You're in my feed. You're in my goodness. You got one last week too for Christmas. Oh, wow. You're going to get a big parcel. I've still got your Christmas present here too, like my personal Christmas present to you. Yes, Christy, I know. There is so many. And I just, I can't stand it. It's just, okay. My Nana is badgering me to talk to you here. Just wondering if you have her here with you. Oh, Nicola. I don't know why she's badgering you as such. The only thing I probably want to say with Nana is the reason that I'm being shown that she's badgering, and probably I don't know if you can work this one out. Probably because your dad can't see you to normally say what he wants to say, although he can say that on the phone. But Nana's kind of in saying, well, what are you doing? Why have you not pursued something? Why are you sitting on the fence? So for whatever those reasons are, why are you sitting on the fence? What does that mean, Nana? Why would you be sitting on the fence? Sitting on the fence, sitting on the fence. Okay. There's something that you should be doing that you don't want to. I don't know what that is. Nana's just saying to me, you're at times you're acting, oh, sorry, I'm laughing because I think Nana is so cute. Sometimes you go back into a little bit of childhood and act like a little bit of a child when you should be acting adult about the situation. Wow, Nana's coming in full swing. And she's kind of saying, you were like that years ago, and then when you grew up, you understood that it's okay to sort of like, speak your mind, speak from the heart, say what you mean type thing. But you've kind of gone back into a little shell and not kind of wanting to progress with that, if that makes sense. She's saying that you're sitting on the fence without acting on something. And only you apparently, what you're not acting on, and I don't wish to disclose that here. But yeah, it's something around whatever you're not doing, whatever you want to do, and you've thought about it, but you're now too scared to whatever. Get off your bum and do it. It's as simple as that. That's why she's badgering you. It's such a your nan wouldn't talk to you as such as saying, I want to kick you out the bum to get off the fence. But she's asking me to say that because that's probably something that I would say to you because I've known you for a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So it's probably easier coming from me than what is coming from her. Yeah. So I hope you understand that. And yeah, please let me know. I think she's cute. Anyway, it's 2 hours. There's too many trolls, so I'm going to get off this live feed. I want to thank everybody who has joined. I want to thank you for your kind words in wishing me a happy new year. That was very wonderful of you all. I have enjoyed my night here tonight, as I do all times. I love working with spirit. I love connecting with spirit, and I love sharing that gift with with all you guys. You guys have been wonderful. You tolerate the trolls, and I know they get annoying, and we all try and work it out. Kim was the one who said apparently I can go in somewhere and block a country, whatever, I will look at that. Kim, if you can actually inbox that to me, to my private inbox, if you're still here, that'd be wonderful. If you can tell me what I need to do there, that'd be great. I want to thank you all for joining. I wish you all a wonderful start. I know we've gone past midnight, but I do wish you all a wonderful start to 2021, regardless of what COVID does. Don't make COVID rule your life. Think of other ways to work around COVID or to embrace COVID or whatever the case may be. If it means that, if your area comes into a few cases and whatever else, and they ask you to go and get a test, don't arc up about it. Just go and get it done. It might be a little unpleasant, but it really only takes like about 4 seconds, and it's over and done with. And then you know that you're okay to continue on your path. Yeah, it's all about understanding who you are, embracing who you are. Follow your dreams, follow your passions, write things down in a journal. You can always look back at that journal and see how far you've come. So 2021 is here. Again, I wish you all a very, very happy and safe 2021, and I hope you have a wonderful start in the morning to 2021 when you wake up, that you might feel a bit more invigorated, injuvenated, whatever the case may be, out of tonight's readings. If I didn't read for you tonight, I'm very, very sorry. You may have got something out of someone else that I read to. Something might have resonated with you, or whatever the case may be. But again, I can't always get to everybody. It's impossible at times, but please keep bearing with us, because, if you share and like the feed, especially if you share the live feed, there is more chance of getting a reading. I can see when you've shared, and when if I'm drawn to that and I kind of go, oh, that person's wonderful, I'm going to, jump on that person. It really does help many others in many of your groups or whatever to get some insight to, even if someone's just sit back and listens to the feed, something that they will hear throughout the night will help them on their journey. So again, Happy New Year to everybody. Have a safe and wonderful day tomorrow. Enjoy your time off. Do something for you. Thank you for joining. My love to you always, because you're always a wonderful crowd, and blessings to you all. Thank you so much. Sleep tight.